Wait, this is a menu-driven game. How the heck are you? Oh, this is gonna be another one of those weird hybrid meta ones, isn't it?
Welcome to How to Make Big Money on Wall Street. Today you'll learn the secrets that high-powered brokers use to make millions of dollars on the stock market. Join PlayItBogart as he shows you how to escape income inequality and seize financial success.
Hi, I'm PlayItBogart. You might remember me from such online videos as PlayItBogart Plays Roller Games and PlayItBogart Plays Rise of the Robots. If you're watching this, two things are true. One, you inexplicably still have a VCR. And two, you want to know how you can get your very own piece of the American dream. Times are tough. Many of you face bleak economic prospects. People are losing their jobs to automation, outsourcing, trade wars, and YouTube algorithm changes. Despite languishing in relative obscurity on YouTube, I now address you from our brand new home. Property, luxury automobiles, exquisite timepieces, beautiful women, or men. In association with Lord Productions, we're going to show you how this was all done. And by the time we're done here today, you'll know how you can have all of this and your avocado toast too. Inside this briefcase, I hold the secret to your success. It's Wall Street Kit for the Nintendo Entertainment System. A wise man once said that greed was good, that greed was right, and that it worked. I say, use it or lose it. This might not come as a tremendous shock to you, but acquiring a fortune does require having some startup capital. The easiest way to do this is to have a rich aunt or uncle with no living relatives. Now, before you roll your eyes into the back of your head about another millennial success story for which the catalyst was a six-figure loan from a relative, don't worry, I've got you covered. If you do not have a rich aunt or uncle, check out the Forbes list of billionaires and pick one at random. Present yourself as a long-lost niece or nephew, or illegitimate child. Once you have secured a wealthy relative, in this case let's say an uncle, you will need to ensure that you are the sole beneficiary. If you are unable to convince the uncle to leave you some or all of his estate, you can force the issue by eliminating all other possible recipients. Now, if you do plan to go the firearm route, you will want to use as low a caliber as possible, because if the bullet fragments on impact, it is going to make life much more difficult for investigators. Once that's all taken care of, it's time to get the money. In my case, the executor of my late uncle Mr. Benedict's estate wants me to prove myself by pampering my sweetheart, acquiring a decent $1 million home, and buying Benedict's old castle in some European tax haven. If I satisfy my uncle's lawyer's criteria, I inherit $600 billion of my late uncle's estate. He drives a hard bargain. I guess I have no choice but to use it or lose it. First day on that wall-covered street, the realtor to the stars, Ralph, says he's got the hookup. We gotta turn that $500K into $1 million. In order to make that kind of scratch, you're gonna have to invest in some equipment. First thing you're gonna need is a good used computer, the kind that goes... That's the one. The next thing you're gonna need is a set of Bluetooth-enabled daisies. You sync these up with your sweetheart's phone in order to gauge their approval of you. And then last thing you're gonna need is you're gonna need to get a barometer. That's a barometer? Are you serious? That's a barometer? Okay, I guess it says it's a barometer. Are you sure about this? It's a barometer, okay. If the barometer starts to dip, it means it's time to get back into the gym. Just make sure you check the daily paper before you go exercising or taking your sweetheart out, because if you engage in activities that are affected by local events, you could be disappointed. Now, you could rely on newspapers after the fact and so-called arrogant advisors to make your fortune, but the specially patented PlayItBogart rhythm is a guaranteed fast-track means to buy and sell stock at huge profits, which we will reveal to you exclusively at the end of this video. Just look at it in action. In just 1 week, we've turned $500,000 into $600,000, and still had plenty in petty cash to buy a poodle for my sweetheart. Now, if you didn't want to heed the Bogart rhythm and rely on traditional stock market tips, it's still important to know the 4 main stock categories. Now, blue chip refers to reliable companies that are the pillars of stability. In fact, Apple makes the personal computer that your office uses. Speculative refers to companies that are carrying large amounts of debt and are usually considered a high-risk investment. But I'm sure none of these companies will suffer downturn or bad press. Cyclical refers to seasonal investments that are usually affected by the ups and downs of the economy, like that time that the Carnivore Cruise Line crashed into the Coastal Marriott Hotel and then Centipede got the contract from Kaufman and Broad in order to get the place ready for the Rattel convention. And finally, the growth companies. They're up and coming, but don't typically yield much profit, but that's okay, I'm sure they'll make it big. That is, of course, except for these bums over here at Charles Schwab. Don't listen to a thing these financial nincompoops have to say, listen to me instead. In the time we spent exploring the various investment opportunities you have, we've turned that $600,000 into a cool million, and we've even got enough money left to buy our significant other a beautiful Ferrari 328. Our method works so good that we've got $340,000 left after we close on the house. While this home does allow me to showcase my passions in life, this is the one showcase I'm particularly proud of. Okay, now that we own a home, it's time to get the next icon of excess, a yacht. As it happens, honeymooning on a yacht is a Benedict family tradition, so we're getting 2 birds stoned at once here. Seems we'll be bailing out some poor sap who needs to sell their boat in order to keep above water. Ha! Now $700,000 doesn't sound like much when you contrast it with your $1 million home, but you have to bear in mind that we only had to raise another $500,000 to buy it. There's no shame in getting a bank loan to cover the difference, just remember you have to pay that back. But along the way, you still gotta treat yourself to the finer things in life, like a Panazodiac sound system. It's très avant-garde and minimalist, but all it wants to do is play Billy Joel music. And while you're at it, fill your luxury home with cultured conversation pieces by dropping $50,000 on an amazing painting by the renowned artist Ali. You're right, honey, it really does tie the room together. Just remember that you'll have to cash out $700,000 worth of stock in order to pay for this glorious piece of seafaring excellence. And with good timing too, because when I come back from my honeymoon, I've got an auction to attend. Whoa. Larry, I just got back from my honeymoon. Give me a second. I know. I'm still making lots of money, see? I am doing my best, and I'm not neglecting my wife. Why? What have you heard? Larry? Larry, don't hang up. So I have it on good authority that the castle's only going to go for $2 million, and since we're sitting on at least 3, all I gotta do now is pay for this party the missus wants to hold. $20,000 for a nice party. Okay, we can afford that. And here we're up $4.5 million, and now she wants a dress for the party. 20 grand? Baby, this dress costs as much as the party. Yes, it's fine. Baby, I'm getting a call. Yeah, hi Larry. Yeah, I'm ready. 1 million deposit? But 10% on 2 mil is 200K. What's going on here? Well, whatever. Fine. Here's my 2 million. Take it. We're done here. I have to admit I had a bad feeling about this, but looks like it's all for naught. I can taste that 600 billion now. Wait a minute. Somebody else is bidding. 3.6 million? Are you kidding me? 4.4. The current bid is 4.4.
Yeah, I just got back from the auction. Do you know what the winning bid was? No, it wasn't two. You want to know how much it was? It was $9.5 million! This is not only the stuff. You told me, if I played my cards right, this is going to cost two. Make only what I'm supposed to? What the hell kind of crap is that? When you sold me this equipment, you told me it was a license to print money. Oh, great. Why don't you travel back in time about 3 months when I might have cared? You know, I'm starting to see more black vans when I'm out and about. My wife is noticing them too. And I've become over $4.5 million in the next month! Don't give me that feng shui out of war crap. I got the feds looking at me. And if I go down and take into it... Hello? It's just bullshit!
Okay, so the bank is calling to let me know that I owe them $9.5 million, and I guess I better get on that. Okay, sell all of the crier. Put it into Retail Toys. Okay, and then on Friday I need you to dump all the Retail, I need you to put it into Firedman's. Okay, then on Monday, I need you to dump all the Fireman's, max out on YBM. Hold it until about Thursday, then dump it all, put it back into Fireman's. Then on Friday, give all the Fireman's back, invest it all in Pan Man. Then go out in town with your wife to the jewelry store and hold it all together while she cranks the price up for this party up to $90,000 now. And on Monday, dump the Pan Man. Dump it all. Put it into Xerox? You can't just put an A in these darn things and call it a new company. Ride the Xerox train. Ride it until it takes you from 8 million to 10.9. Then leave it at the altar for Fireman's. Then have a drink and take a deep breath and enjoy the party. And dance with your wife. She's being strong in this too. And then on Tuesday, put it all in American Depress. And then don't touch it. Don't touch it till Friday. Then you can cash out and take it to the bank. Lay the last heavy thing you'll ever carry in your life on the counter and say, I'd love to make a deposit. Yes! And there you have it. I'm a multi-billionaire. I used it, and then when I wasn't sure if I could keep using it, I used it some more, and now I'll never lose it. Now that you've seen it in action, it's time to show you the secret behind the PlayItBogart rhythm. Now, this may look like a common household Radio Shack LCD game, but what it really is this sophisticated time travel machine that's being brought to market soon by Time Lord Industries. Now, you push this button, and it creates what we call a save state. And then once you've learned enough about the stock market, you push this button, and then you go back and... What? What is so goddamn important? Please!
trial date has been set for the Patrice Bogart insider trading case following arraignment in federal court this morning. The case has attracted widespread international attention as Wall Street scrambles to address the fallout of temporal insider trading. Authorities began their investigation after the Benedict family castle in Augsburg, Germany, which was expected to sell at auction for $2 million, sold for a staggering $9.5 million instead. The defense is expected to argue that no actual insider trading took place because Bogart only used publicly available information in conjunction with a so-called safe state machine, which is not in violation of current regulations. Additionally, Bogart's lawyer, Phoenix Wright of the Right Anything Agency, is suggesting that the auction of the castle should be nullified as the final bid allegedly was scaled to the defendant's then assets. Lawmakers on Capitol Hill are scrambling to draft temporal protection laws to prevent this kind of get-rich scheme from being used again. Additionally, sources inside the FBI say that Bogart is also being treated as a person of interest in several unsolved homicides connected to the wealthy Benedict family. For NBS News, this is Tim Lord reporting.
They feel so wrong to me. All of this heartache, all of this pain. I know it hurts, but please just bear